Welcome everyone on this geopolitical channel. So on Sunday we talk about the political crackdown in Saudi Arabia with the arrest of the three most high-ranking princes in Saudi Arabia. And so we raise the question, is there any link between those arrests and the ongoing oil prices plunging? And I will try to demonstrate whether that there is any link. I personally think that there is a definite link between it, and so I will try to prove you to demonstrate that there is a link between this political crackdown and the oil prices plunging. So, if you remember about the time, the events, the happening of the events. So it occurred on Saturday on those arrests, and on Sunday, the Mohammed bin Salman decided to cut oil prices and significantly, because he decided to decrease and to lower prices of the Arabian Light, so the quality that the Saudi Arabia sell to its client by $10 from the Brent prices. So basically, the price of the Brent was on Sunday at $45. So it means that for the delivery contract in April, it means that it will be only sold at $35. And for example, if the contract was signed yesterday, it means that it was only sold at $23. So it means that it's definitely a huge economic blow to the Saudi public finances. And so it's definitely a huge economic gamble that Mohammed bin Salman has taken by deciding to raising oil production from 8 million barrel per day to 11 million barrel per day, and at the same time by cutting significantly the prices that Saudi Arabia is selling. It's actually, if you remember, it's a bit reminiscent about this development is very reminiscent about what happened in 2014. At that time, the legendary Ali Al-Naimi, the Ministry of Petroleum of Saudi Arabia, also decided, in order to gain market share, to sell at lower prices, because at that time he made the calculation that Saudi Arabia will gain market share over the schist gas and the petrol from the United States. And after 2 years, let's say 1 year and a half, at the beginning of 2016, the prices was valued less than $30, the oil prices. And so at that time, if Ali Al-Naimi lost, if you like, his bet that he will gain over the American oil. So that's why maybe we are a bit in the same situation. And at that time, if you remember, Ali Al-Naimi, after 20 years as the head of the Ministry of Petroleum, resigned, and it was a big shock at that time in Saudi Arabia. He decided to resign simply because Saudi Arabia at that time was forced to take austerity measure because its budget deficit reached 19% of its GDP. So the economic situation, the financial situation was nearly unsustainable. IMF was very close to intervene in Saudi Arabia, and that's why many benefits were withdrawn. Salaries were cut for public servants, for example, in Saudi Arabia at that time. And so we could arrive to see situation also now in Saudi Arabia, because due to that the economic slowdown is even more severe now than in 2016, and so ultimately it means that the demand for oil will decrease. So it means that if you have oil production increase from Saudi Arabia, but also United Arab Emirates will take the same measure, Russia also, and maybe US counterparts and Canadian counterparts also. So it means that you will have a huge supply with falling demand, meaning crushing prices. And so we will probably reach even lower prices than in beginning of 2016, where we reached a price of $26 for Brent. I think this time we will go much below than $26. Yesterday we reached $33. And I think the demand will continue falling. So what I mean is probably we will reach a situation even more acute, more serious financially for Saudi Arabia than in 2016. So now the political question is how people, but also princes around him, will react to this economic hardship that Saudi Arabia will face. And that's why I made the link with the political crackdown that happened actually on Saturday, because I think due to the hard economic time that Saudi Arabia will pass, I think he needs the total loyalty of his peers and of his nation. And that's why also I think the quarantine of the city of Qatif in the Shia region, he decided also to put into quarantine a city, Qatif. I think it's a Shia region, and I think he really wants that also the Shia region shows its total loyalty towards him, because we know that there is a lot of dissent. People from those regions maybe do not support him, and to show him that he is totally control the situation. He tried to put in quarantine this city officially for health reasons. So we see that there is a link between the political crackdown probably and the economic situation and the economic decisions that Mohammed bin Salman has taken over the weekend. It's a huge gamble that he has taken by raising oil production and decreasing oil prices. And we will see whether Mohammed bin Salman will be able to get this loyalty from his peers and from his nation, and whether he will be able to pass through those economic hardships that Saudi Arabia we will go through over the next week. We will follow actually on this geopolitical channel all those developments in Saudi Arabia.